21 Savage got in a what are the shits called? the what's that? Dang, what's that? The
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Cause don't nobody use that anymore, honestly, man. Clubhouse was popping for like maybe less than a month, man. And yeah, I didn't know people even still did that, especially since the Twitter spaces are open. So anyway, 21 Savage gets in a clubhouse, and I guess they have a conversation about relevancy. And I don't know how Nas' name came up, but he said Nas wasn't relevant. But what was funny about it to me, once again, usual suspects, he said Jay-Z was relevant and Eminem was relevant. But Nas is not relevant. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get the Jay-Z thing because, you know, Jay-Z's always out there in the news, whatever. And got the guy did verse, had MSNBC doing full breakdowns on it and stuff. Okay, cool, whatever. But tell me how Eminem's relevant in 2022 and Nas isn't, who just did a 25-city tour, sold out, very active, highly anticipated KD3, executed on it, has Magic out there still floating, has films out there working heavy with mass appeal. What is Eminem actually doing?
A Nike commercial with LeBron James.
Yeah. So yeah, I would like to see. This is the thing.
Whole Nike commercial with the biggest athlete on earth.
What does relevant mean?
With the biggest sports brand on earth.
Right. What does relevant mean? Because I've always taken relevant. I remember when MTV used to do that top 10 hottest rappers in the game list or whatever. Those are those buzzwords in the industry. Hottest, relevance. These are things you can't quantify, but these are tags that the industry can put on you to say that, yeah, this person deserves this, and this. Relevance doesn't even mean anything. Relevant to who? Because I would imagine that Nas was pretty relevant to the people that bought those tickets to go see him in Wu-Tang.
And the fact that he's about to sell out the Garden. So
exactly.
Listen.
And the fact that we know 21 Savage cannot sell out State Farm Arena, let alone the Garden in New York City.
Well, when I think of relevance, do you mind if I chime in?
Go ahead.
When I like to think of relevancy, Mike, I mean, and you know, we do editorial, we do rhetoric, we do conjecture, we do forecasting, we do broadcasting, we do reviews, but mostly it's about the music. Mm-hmm. And so when you want to talk about what's relevant, well, let's talk about what's relevant. I think on this album, Mike, before we get into the J and the M things, and let's talk about the artist that he said wasn't relevant. On this album that he just dropped last Friday, Mike, I see a potential 7 singles on here. Mike, Legit, 30, Hood to Hood, Reminisce. Mike, the serious interlude with Mario, you could play that shit on the Quiet Storm right now. It fit right on in. WTF SMH, Get Light. I just named 7 records, Mike. That's what relevancy is to me, is like, well, if you want to talk about relevancy the way that you're talking about it, he just made 7 joints that's ready for radio, in my opinion. And that's how I know radio is the problem, is because, I mean, 21 and Drake joint got 7 joints like the ones I just named?
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so either. And that's what they're kind of known for. It's like, shit, well, for what you do, supposedly, he more relevant than you are at what you do right now because he got more shit to single ready than you do. It's just these sorry-ass radio stations ain't playing it. But here's also the problem with that, too, is like, well, we all know this already, and so it's our response. The same way I pulled up on people, it's like, no, you got to pull up on radio the same way. It's like, yo, play Legit for me, Power 105. Yeah. Play Legit, 97. Play 30. Like, play these records. Play Get Light. Like, you got to pull up on them about it, because the reason that he's saying that Nas isn't relevant is just right back to the radio thing. And the radio thing is where most of the streams are created outside of these bullshit-ass streaming farms that people are not acknowledging.
Well, this is what I would ask him as well, because I find it very interesting that 21 Savage, he had a music video for Running where he was running around the hood and everything with his Grammy, right? So my question would be, well, are the Grammys relevant? And are the Grammys relevant to you? Because, I mean, with these nominations that artists are getting, over the past couple of days. We've seen Glorilla going crazy over the fact she got nominated for the first time. Lotto's in tears. Well, let me tell you this. Like, Nas won a Grammy last year. So, which is it? And he performed at the Grammys this year. So, how is that not... So, are the Grammys irrelevant? I mean, because you running around the hood and shit, passing everybody a Grammy, the one Grammy that you got, and you got it because J. Cole's on the song. Let's just be 100%. So, which is it? I think people just be saying shit, man.
Well, Mike, let's go ahead and get to the part, because it's like, well, we don't got to talk about M, and we don't got to talk about J. We don't got to talk about Nas either. Let's talk about this nigga, because he looking like an agent out here, and he from Atlanta, and so we just going to go pull apart.
He's from the UK.
Right. But where he say he from? See, this is what I'm saying, and this is where, I'm going to tell you where I got tight. I'm gonna tell you
he said he was the best rapper from the UK, too. He said that, too.
First of all, don't you ever say that again while Slick Rick existed. Like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard a UK rapper say. It's like, I'm the best rapper come out the UK, Slick Rick. Even if you're a Doom fan, you should say Slick Rick. Like, Slick Rick better than Doom. I don't care what you say. Like, period.
Well, both of them better than 21 Savage.
Well, it's not a question of that. But here's where the agent should go. I'm going to tell you, Mike. Remember when Wack was calling out 21?
Mm-hmm.
And asking him about his paperwork and stuff? And telling him that he might be the one that's responsible for all this shit that's going on down here that got brothers hemmed up? Wasn't that what he was alluding to?
It was.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When I heard that, I ain't like the tone that Wack was taking with 21 initially, Mike. That's the Atlanta in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Game. I fuck with Wack, you know what I mean? And I be seeing how he move and shit. Mm-hmm. But, like, the Atlanta in me was like, yo, like, don't be taking tone with our folks like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't like it. But I heard what he was saying enough, like, to listen, and it just made me pause, Mike. Because Slick Rick's one of my favorite rappers. Mm-hmm. And I know that Slick Rick didn't get his citizenship until 2016, because since he committed that felony crime in 1990, they have been trying to deport him at every chance that they can and take his citizenship, including Mike. They were waiting for him at the docks in Miami in 2002, getting off a Tom Joyner cruise ship where he was performing on. Mm-hmm. Detained him. And has been detained multiple times about his citizenship, even though he got naturalized in this state in the United States at 11 years old. So when I look at all the difficulties that MC Ricky D has gone through, Mike, and how I've grown up watching it happen to him.
Yeah.
And to see this man skate the way that he is skating, Mike, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't like that fucking shit at all. You look like an agent out here in these fucking streets. And you need to step your ass up like fuck that relevancy shit, nigga. Are you out here snitching like a weak ass nigga? Like, no, for real. Are you out here snitching to keep your visa? Doom had to be away from his family for 2 years. Mike, are you out here snitching, nigga?
Hey, let me get to the super chats real
Everybody
quick.
Talking about no relevancy. Is you a snitch or not? Because you be walking around here repping the A. And you're not about to rep the A and be no snitch, nigga.
He reps the UK now. So
let's talk about if your ass is a snitch or not.
He be repping the UK now. CJ Kid with the super chat.
He better not rep the A till he clear up this snitch shit.
Hey. CJ Kid with the super chat says, you guys need to check the 3-letter man from PSA Hip Hop on his thoughts on KD3. Man knows what I'm talking about. Okay. Let me catch up on these super chats so we can get on with this subject, man, because the disrespect, like you said, man, they should be applauding what Nas is doing. Brooklyn Kennedy with the super chat.
Let's talk about this nigga agent. Forget that relevancy conversation. It's like, you out here dropping dimes or not, nigga, we're going to apply the pressure to you. You want to walk up in Clubhouse, all like it's all, how you end up with Drake. Remember I told you last week, I was like, let's see, this album make me wonder, like Free Gunna, Free Thug. Because how the fuck 21 get the Drake placement? Agent shit.
Brooklyn Kennedy with the super chat
this nigga
says,
paperwork, quick, fast, in a hurry. I mean, all the nigga paperwork, his street paperwork. He been rapping about getting locked up, banging, calling niggas pussies and shit, talking about how he run up on niggas. No, nigga, if you was really running up on niggas and catching charges, your ass would be deported out this bitch. So what you doing?
That's a
now, either you a street nigga. Now, is you a street nigga that's out here catching charges and doing what you say? Because if so, you would get deported.
Well,
Well,
That's a good point. Brooklyn Kennedy with the super chat says Nas always had a sense of humor. Please include NYC. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom.
Niggas' cases is disappearing, Mike. A nigga case disappeared.
It's crazy, right?
Slick Rick
Sure,
been
he
fighting this shit
says.
since 1990. Mike didn't get naturalized. I want people to understand this. Slick Rick got locked up on second-degree attempted murder in 1990 for by shooting his cousin, I think, in the foot, who had been threatening him and his pregnant girlfriend at the time and his mother, I believe, and literally has been fighting to maintain his citizenship in the United States until 2016, Mike, from 1990 to 2016.
Wow.
And this nigga just skating.
And his career was derailed.
Run up in the clubhouse and explain to us why you're not a snitch, nigga, and show us where your charges at. Let me see. I want to see the nigga felony charges now. I want to see him backing up this street shit he kicking now.
Shorey with the super chat says, from Old Town Road to KD3, this kid is on fire. Oh, come on. It ain't the same person. Man, the chat is on fire today, man. Let me get to...
You understand what I'm saying, Mike? You understand what I'm saying? What you're saying? You want to sit up there, Mike, this is agent shit. When you want to sit up there and talk about somebody's relevancy, when first of all, is he going to be here in 19 years at 49 years old? He's 30 now. Savage going to be making music like Nas in 19 years? Then shut up. But since you want to talk, no, let's not talk about Nas. Let's talk about you and if you're an agent or not. How about that? We can have a whole conversation, include you. No, pull up in Clubhouse tonight and give us paperwork showing that you either use a street nigga and use authentic or that you're not an agent, one or the other. But don't be pulling up talking about no relevancy and then backtracking your statements and shit because your card got pulled. You're not about
I guess
to
he
rep
thought
the
everybody was just going to run with it.
No, he's not about to rep Atlanta and do this shit. That's what he's not about to do.
I just don't understand the whole, on what level are you saying that he's not relevant? I think what his quote was, kids ain't waking up listening to Nas. But again, hip-hop is about to be 50 next year. So kids don't just run the yard alone. Everybody's listening to everything. We listening to stuff that the kids are listening to, and the kids are listening to some of the stuff that we listening to. That's hip hop has grown up. It's not 1995 where the only people that are listening to hip hop are the people under a certain age. You know what I'm saying?
Like, we like Corday and want him to win, don't we?
Yeah, and not even just Corday. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just using him as an example, Mike.
I like some of the stuff the NBA Youngboy does.
Mike, he's literally old. He's literally young enough to be our son.
Yeah, I like some of the stuff the NBA Youngboy does.
I like some of the shit that he does. Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes.
Web Visibility says, for which song would you like Nas to do a video for off of KD3? That's a good question. You know where I'm at with this. I think either Get Light or I would like Legit, actually, or Thun. I'm naming a lot of songs.
That's what I mean. There's bangers at Mike. I didn't even bring up Thun in one of the singles because to me, that's already like a street hood classic already.
Right.
Everybody in the streets playing Thun already.
Into You Jams with the super chat says, Coop talked about the WTF ASMH line in one of the streams. And at the, it just went away. He said, in one of the streams, and that beat had that Dilla feel. The line makes me sad. Yeah. Said that line makes me sad. Love Dilla, man. I wish Dilla was still here to do what he was doing. He's still got beats floating around. It's incredible. That's
a nice connective thread, though. That the second part of that beat is very Dilla-like, and I mean that in the highest complimentary way to Hit Boy once again.
But yes, my thing is
what I'm a fan of like doing 3 or 4 singles right now and just flooding the market right now because of how shit's going. I say do Legit, do Thun, do Get Light, and do 30. You know what I'm saying? And just go for yours. But that's just how I am with shit, though.
KD says, can y'all actually go through all of Ho's Grammys one day and determine whether they were deserved or not? Obviously not. Would be great content. I think that, all right, I'm going to be fair. I'm sure he's been nominated. I think that, Beyonce's been nominated 9 times this year. And I think that made her tie with Jay-Z as the most nominations of all time. I think both of them have 88 nominations all time or something. But I'm sure he has lost a lot of them that he should have won and maybe won some that maybe he shouldn't have won. So it probably balances out. LP with the super chat
It's too
says,
much. It's too much Grammy talk going on too. Like, I know you're going to get into this diatribe momentarily, probably, Mike. But you pointed out something very, very succinct about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They started off getting this right, and for the most part, were getting it right. And so we need to have a conversation about them, but we also do need to give them some credence and some respect and say at least they were getting it right. Mike, the Grammys ain't never been getting it right.
Never got it.
And that's why somebody asked me on Twitter what it was. I was like, oh, that's just trophy case shit. As in, like, it matters only in the sense of, like, if you want to go see the trophy case one day when they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, but in the respects of the here and now and how this culture exists, they've never really done right by us or gotten it right. And it took a whole pandemic for them to have their best real rap category probably in like 2 decades.
Yeah, because the mainstream people couldn't release.
So it might have been 25 years since they had a rap category that was that good, like with legitimate albums that belong there, and they still missed a couple of steps. And it's just not like that. It's like, and now you want to know how it's not like that? How many Grammys do Prince and Michael Jackson have?
I don't even know off the top.
Not enough, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Like, think about this. Like, Lauryn Hill got more Grammys than Prince. Like, do you think that makes sense?
It doesn't make sense. Right. With all the work, and no disrespect to Lauryn, but she got one album.
Lauryn will tell you she's not Prince, though, Mike.
But she got one album. She couldn't say she is. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I'm just saying, like, she'd tell you, she'd be like, no, if I got 5, that guy deserved 50.
Yeah. LP with the super chat says, I think
she got more than 5, if I'm not mistaken, Mike. I think she got a couple of ancillary Grammys, like Turn Your Lights Down Low or some of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
LP says, I think that Pitch and Rolling Stone are not going to do a review. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think they are.
You know, sometimes silence is golden, Mike. Sometimes you're better off, you know. Like, I don't go places I'm not wanted. Shit.
But see, this is my thing, too, when it comes to the media and the way the media is handling this 21 conversation. They're being very nice to him, right? And, again, this is coming from somebody who likes some of 21's music. He knew what he was saying. He understood what he was saying. And the thing is, you cannot be a Nas fan, and that's fine. But you can't sit here and deny the work that's been put in and what that person is currently doing. Say say he's not relevant to your circle, but to say he's just not relevant, period, and not being able to quantify that outside of the fact that kids ain't waking up listening to a 49-year-old MC, nah, bro, that's not it. And you didn't even qualify, and that's why I brought up Jay-Z and Eminem. You didn't even qualify why you think they're relevant, because kids ain't waking up listening to them. I know kids damn well ain't listening to Eminem when they wake up. Let's just be real. Ain't nothing to listen to.
It's what the ops do, Mike.
That sounds like some Asian-y stuff, where it's like, okay, are you sent out here the week of the release? Are you sent out here the week of the release to go out there and put a term out there to be able to denigrate Nas with relevancy? No, you can't even do that.
Back up. Why aren't you doing a Clubhouse the week your album get released? Why are you doing it the week after when Nas' shit is on the docks? You get what I'm saying? Very Asian-like.
Jay Short with the super chat.
Down here. There's a lot of information, Mike, down here that done made its way in the hands of people, and people want to know how and why. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the legitimate questions. Legitimate questions.
No. You want to talk about relevancy? No. Bring your ass out here on Front Street in front of us in Atlanta and explain to us why the fuck you free.
Jay Short.
On some real shit.
Jay Short with the super chat says, we have to be 100. Relevant to them means a term commanding a white audience and attention from white institutions and publications. Sorry,
getting
not sorry.
By a white man to slander another black man. Right. Agent.
I want to see what people have to say about this, because I think we're finally caught up on this part of the conversation. Man, y'all are going in. Mad Max. This is what I want to hear from.
Behavior.
I want to hear from Mad Max. He said, yak voice. Bish, please. Nas is like eternally God's son. Forever 21 is a savage that reeks of hatred. Could have gifted the past a future unity, but out eulogizes King disease. Still purveying the community.
Oh, he gonna get the word, Mike. He ain't gonna be talking about no relevancy. He gonna be out here and he better not be quiet either, Mike, because I'm gonna tell you what. If he don't come out and talk and make himself well known, not to be an agent, oh, you really gonna see me ride, Mike. So
KD,
he better start speaking up and prove that he's not an agent.
KD says, the way 21's deportation case just disappeared is just like the T.I. gun case from back around the BET performance, I think around 2009.
Very problematic.
It's weird. People got questions. I think they're legitimate questions. Like you said, we've seen this in hip-hop before from the same country. You know, and Slick Rick has been battling this for literally 20 years. They do not play with that type of stuff.
Mike,
CBS.
It took him 26 years to get his paperwork.
Yeah, and this is Slick Rick.
And this is Slick Rick. I want to see this nigga Savage paperwork. I want to see your street paperwork. I want to see all that ice shit. I want to see where they let you off. I want to see why. If they haven't let you off, I want to know when your court date is. We'd love to come support you as long as you're not a motherfucking agent out here. Because niggas is locked up down here, Mike. And he keep doing agent things. And niggas is locked up down here. I'm going to say this again. It ain't just cats that you know that's locked up. No. A whole bunch of people is locked up because people is down here snitching. Mike, I be mindful of the shit that I say on here because we're a publication based out of Atlanta and something that we say as conjecture can be taken. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, nigga. Bring your ass out here into these streets and talk about your motherfucking paperwork, not no other rapper's relevancy. Let's see that relevant paperwork, nigga.
The relevant paperwork. CBF with the super chat says, what's the cost of a CD when 1,500 plays is one sale? I don't even know how they determine those things and how that even works out percentage-wise. But we can have that whole discussion, too, because I think we're going to talk about streams. KD also says, not mutually exclusive. Street dudes take Fed deals.
This is facts. That's what I'm saying. Is it's like, man, it's getting kind of fascinating.
We got another one. We got Ill Son says, they can't debate rhymes, flows, and beats, so they change the subject to relevancy and Grammys.
Right. And I'm changing the subject to you might be an agent, nigga. So let's stop talking about relevancy and let's talk about if you're an agent or not. I'm changing the subject.
Mad Max says, LOL, I'm younger than 21. I'm spinning Nas. And yeah, that's the thing too. Like 21's 30. Like you're not like super young, bro. Like I think most of the people who, I mean, just say you don't listen to Nas. And that's fine. But you're not going to, like, listen, I don't listen to Eminem like that. But for me to act like Eminem can't go out there and sell out a show, I would be lying. Because he could. Michael Williams to the super chat says, Beef is one of the greatest songs Nas has ever written. It's haunting. The anti-violence message is profound. It's Nas's crowning moment on the KD run. And Hit Boy said that Nas didn't want to put it on there. He had to fight Nas to get it on there because Nas was out there comparing it to I Gave You Power. Said it wasn't as epic as that or something Hit Boy said.
I mean, it's not, but very few things in rap history have been.
That's a high standard to hold yourself to, right? Brian Gold with the super chat says, that's right, Coop. Send his ass on a store run and make him listen to Thun while he's at it.
No, he don't got to do none of that. It's like, no. This is what I mean is that if you're an agent and you were sitting here to divert the conversation, well, I'm going to divert the conversation back to the fact that I think that you might have been sent to divert the conversation. Show your paperwork.
Eric Terrell says,
the best rapper out the UK.
The greatest.
On God, Mike. Right. On God.